Luca Nation, welcome back to. I mean, this is going to be the first episode where it's just you and I. First episode in a week or so. It's just Cage and I, where we're doing the fractional report before the opening bell, sponsored by Collectable. And guys, love these episodes. Super looking forward to it. And I'll tell you, I mean, Cage could talk about it as well. We really love what we do, and we. I mean, I'll speak for myself too. Like I love hopping on here talking sports, talking card values, trying to break down the market. Every once in a while, I'll be right about a prediction. And you got to understand, like, we get asked to, be breakers or, repack and all that stuff. Our vibe, just kind of getting to know Cage over the last year, building this audience, we really do have a passion for helping you guys. So, whether that's Giannis, Curry, and Tatum that we've talked about, or, Rafael Devers, that Cage has talked about. We do have a passion for, we see this in the market. Maybe you guys could take advantage of this opportunity. We've become friends with our audience. We've gotten to know you guys. Some of you guys have benefited tremendously from listening to our show. And we said it once, we'll say it again. We'll never, ever charge for our content. We're here to serve you guys. We're here to answer your guys' questions. We're here to watch. We're here to watch.
Update. What happened?
We're here to watch games with
so it's still 2-0
with Ian and our gang. Even Manny says we should go live more and watch.
Ian's watching. He's watching Yankees Red Sox as we record this, so he's giving me the updates. He came here and said, Gleyber Torres gave one a ride, but it didn't go anywhere. So listen, lots of fun stuff this weekend. I echo your excitement for today's episode. The fractional report brought to you by Collectable before the opening bell, because we've been in the midst of the 10 for 10 series, spotlighting women in the hobby. And in the coming days here, we are going to bring on Alex Jaimo, who, you may have seen her on some Collectable, content over there. Everything from the Babe Ruth, Baltimore News offering, to the Mint Collective and so on and so forth. So I'm excited to talk to her. And, if you haven't checked out our episodes this week, definitely different segments. I probably have learned more this week from our episodes than any other week that we've done. 640 episodes or so. So it's definitely been a good week of fun for us. But
I've learned that we're just getting started in terms of not prices, because we don't know what's going to happen with the markets all the time. You know what I mean? There's a lot of factors that go into what makes card prices valuable. Long term, we know how this stuff works. It's art. It's sought after, especially the scarce stuff. But what I'm seeing is there's a lot of new participants in the space.
Yep.
And a lot of new participants that like different stuff. And I think that's pretty cool. I think I'd be remiss not to start with this. Tiger Woods. There's few athletes that transcend sports. Is that the right word? That kind of you whenever he's playing or she's playing, you got to hit pause on whatever you're doing and go watch this guy. Cage, do you know what his putters what his irons sold for? The Lot 1 Golden Age Golf Auctions. Do you know what it sold for?
A lot of money. Because
2000 to 2001 Tiger Slam winning irons.
Well, that's what made them go up. It's an interesting thing, this new business of photo matching and whatnot. It really is an amazing thing, because they're able to use photos and photo match things to when they were used. Jerseys will be for games or however many games. That's why, Luca, he used these in his rookie year for 7 games, like that kind of stuff, right? So, they added to that. They added photo match, and it was these were used during his Tiger Slam year, which is pretty crazy. That means these are historical clubs. It's like, all right, you got a Ruth bat, but do you have the Ruth bat that was used to hit home run number 60 when he set the record? You know what I mean? It's a different story. It's the bat that he used to call his shot. There are layers to it, and photo matching allows that craziness. How much does it sell for? Millions? 7 figures?
$5 million.
Yeah.
$5,156,162.
Now let's see the winner go out there and use them and hit a round of golf. That would be awesome. Go out there, play some golf with them.
So there's a late 1990s tournament used putter from Tiger. There's 2 tickets of Tiger. There's actually a 1992 LA Open first PGA event full ticket on Collectable.
Mm-hmm.
He has 5 items. I'll read them down for you so it's not confusing. We have 2 tickets. We have one 2001 SP Authentic BGS 95. We have the putter, and then we have the SI for kids, one of your favorite cards. Do you think this auction, Tiger back, he's not 100%, but his first day he was in contention. He says he's going to play at the Open. Do you think that this has kind of like a rubber band effect?
I mean, on certain things, sure. The putter, sure. I mean, people will now be looking for, Tiger Woods golf. You're not be able to find that everywhere, but you can find it. It's something the Fractional is perfect for. That's one I definitely would be looking at. What does he use? A Scotty Cameron? What kind of putter does he use?
I hate you sometimes.
Seriously,
I hate when he does this. He does these like low key.
It's a Scotty Cameron. It's a Scotty Cameron. Listen,
no one knows what that means.
That's his putter. There are different kind of putters. I have a Nike set. It's an old putter. It's called a unitized. It's one piece of steel, the entire putter. My wife uses an Odyssey. So there are different kind of putters. The Scotty Cameron. That's his putter. It's Titleist. See, it's pretty cool.
It has a dent for where he got pissed off. And
he probably hit it into a tree. But I mean, yeah, that's cool stuff. The tickets are an interesting thing, man. I mean, they're definitely catching on. People are definitely, talking about tickets more. There's a lot of dialogue, a lot of debate about tickets. There are a lot of advocates about tickets themselves. The putter is clearly something that is a comparable asset to this $5 million set of clubs. So yeah, I would expect that to have some interesting, interesting stuff, right? So yeah, those irons, that's pretty crazy, It definitely is.
So before I get into the data and popcorn it to you, there's a second thing I wanted to talk about. So let me pull this up. So it's Golden Age Auctions. So this is from Golden Digest. So this is kind of like the newsletter that Golden produces. Good stuff. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, LeBron. Here is something interesting. Episode 1 you can watch here. The guys talking about some fun stuff. But here's what I want to point your attention to. Mm-hmm. Brady's card ladder index versus LeBron's. And if you look, LeBron's has kind of stalled out. In the last, what is this? Since December, let's call it January 1st of 2021. So it's 13, 14, 15 months, going on 15, 16 months here. It's been relatively flat. At that same time, look at Brady. Look at Brady's performance. I don't know if you could see here. It's just been a straight shot up.
Yep, I can see it.
They're comparing 2 greats of the game, 2 guys that are going to be remembered for a long time, etc., etc., etc. LeBron's going to break the Kareem's record of all-time points. He's going to set every record under the sun, just about. He's playing for such a long time. Just looking at that information, looking at that data, is this a consolidation period between LeBron? Is this where people who have owned him for a long time are now selling? People are now getting in and are like, I'm just going to buy into LeBron because he's one of the greatest of all time. Is this a consolidation period and we could see another run like this?
I mean, it could be. It could be. I mean, Brady and LeBron, the difference was, after, so LeBron hit the bubble, but after the crazy peak, Brady won the Super Bowl, right? So, we talk about that momentum. He was riding that momentum and then won a Super Bowl with it. LeBron has the performance on the court. Scoring title aside, which he didn't actually wind up winning, everyone. Give that to Mr. Embiid. His performance, his team's performance on the court kind of matches with the pricing. Whereas Brady, he won the Super Bowl, and then the following year came out there and led the league in yards and touchdowns. And, was right up there, in the MVP discussion again, and now he's back again. So it's a little different, right? Brady has put himself firmly in the GOAT of GOATs in football. I'm a Montana guy, you know that, but Brady is better. Brady is right now the greatest to ever play the game. He is, and I hate Brady. So it is.
And he's got a shot to add to it too.
It pains me to say that, and he's not coming out there. It's like when Jordan comes back. We were in the 4-5. It ain't to play games with you. Brady's not coming back to just go out and have an 8-8 season. He's going out to he's out there to do some stuff. He's looking to have his best season. And I'm sure it's
a little Jay-Z action. All right.
A little Jay-Z, exactly, right? It's to aim at you. Probably maim you. But so,
Then he says something about smithereens.
Yeah, blow you to smithereens. Exactly. I came, I saw, I conquered. From record sales, sold out concerts. I'm just gonna stop because I'll just do the whole thing. So anyway, guys, it's a different.
How do you remember lyrics so well?
I remember everything. Don't ever call me fat because I'll never forget it. We'll be 80 years old and I'll be like, remember that time?
You have like photographic memory, that kind of stuff.
I don't know what I have, but I think Brady stuff goes up. I think LeBron stuff, if you look at it, right, LeBron stuff has already taken a little bit of a beating. Most of it is down. Some stuff is up this past week. I think now, though, when the NBA playoffs start and people are watching them and not seeing LeBron, that's going to cause a ripple effect there. I really do. I really think it is. And I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. This has been a really, really interesting week. A lot of good comps, a lot of good sales, a lot of good fun stuff. Do you want to go through some of the LeBron stuff, if you want to, before we jump over to
guys,
comps?
There's 21 assets of LeBron on Collectable. So 2 have been sold, 5 are coming soon. But here's where it's interesting, right? We talked last week about how there's a chance they're going to shut him down and they're eliminated from the playoffs, long off season. It's funny how markets move, right? Sometimes they're counterintuitive. And this week, 6 of his assets were up, 2 were flat, 6 down. It's very interesting to see that. I think either way you slice it, some assets obviously people are getting out of, but to see 6 assets up the day they don't make the playoffs, they kind of wrap up the season. He's out for 4 months, 6 months, whatever, till you kind of even see the next game of his. Mm-hmm. It's fascinating. So 6 up, 2 flat, 6 down. So,
and I don't even say the 6 down includes 2 sealed wax, which obviously is an indicator of him. But some of the sealed wax prices we've talked about, like the exquisite stuff, it kind of ran, and one of them was actually one of the bigger drops of the week. So,
if I could tell you guys, I think there's going to be a lot of wax buyouts in the next 3 to 6 months. What I'm seeing with all of this, whatnot, Luke, Instagram breakers, everyone's a breaker now. You even see P. Ryan doing an awesome collab with Golden and Fuck Jerry. It's this world. Yeah, they're breaking. I think they're breaking a flawless case. I'm not sure what they're breaking. But the point is, breaking is entertainment. And for it to be entertainment, you need huge boxes. You need huge, 03 Topps Chrome, 03 Exquisite, 1986 Fleer, 1952 Bowman, or 1950 is it 51? These crazy wax boxes that attract a lot of attention. You have to go somewhere to get them. There's not unlimited supply, and there's a lot of scarcity. Somewhere to kind of make like a speculative bet on is wax, because once the town is dry, people start asking questions. Can I buy this one? Can I buy this one? And the prices go up quickly, and there's more than one bidder, and there's only one box. So take a look at that. I think wax is a really interesting investment for the next 3 to 6 months.
I like it. I mean, I definitely do. I'm going to give 2 plays and then talk about some comps and, talk about some fun stuff there. My plays out there, these are your typical Sunday, just look at the numbers. I did kind of like an analysis of the charts before looking at what these were. Yeah, it's a little Sunday fun day. I looked at these and I said, all right, well, these are 2 that, just the chart looks like it's oversold. And then I look at what it is, right? And I couldn't have been further in the type of assets that I found. The 2 of them are as far apart as you can get.
I'm ready to pull it up.
2018 Flawless Trae Young BGS 9. If you want to pull that one up and share with the folks, that's fine. This asset IPO'd at 10 with 1,500 shares, meaning it's a $15,000 item. It closed last week, so a week ago, 17.2, which is 25,800, and dropped all the way down to 905. Basically, a 47% drop week over week. Trading now at 13,575 market cap, below the 15,000 IPO. It's a nice card, right? It's a BGS 9. It is a horizontal. What is that out of right there? You see, what is it? Number 2 of 10, right? I mean, it's a nice card. It's got a 3-color patch.
I think it's either 2 or 18.
You'd have to zoom in on it and see what that is
out of 18. Out of 18.
18.
It says it right
so 2 out of 18. nice card, really nice. This was one of those things. I don't know whether or not people thought that the Hawks were not making the playoffs. They are. They may, by the time you listen to this, depending on how late in the week you listen to it, they may not be in the playoffs. They're in the play-in game. They may be eliminated, and this may come down a little more. This just looked to me like, wow, somebody exited. There was some liquidity event going on here because it lost half its value and fell below the IPO. And while I personally wouldn't be a buyer of it because there's a lot of different, Trey Young, RPA type of stuff out there. If it goes down any further, it definitely looks like something that, could warrant potential buyout activity. It's definitely one that I would keep an eye on, especially, if they do get eliminated, and people are actually looking to exit it, you might have. So the other end of the spectrum, the 1957 PSA 8.5 Mickey Mantle. I mean, you can't get any different, right, than Trey 2018 Flawless. Mickey Mantle's market is pretty hot. You know what I mean? And yet, I look at this and it's 57. All right, it's not the it's a great looking card, right? But it's not one that people are always searching for. And it's not a 9, but it's an 8.5. I mean, it's a gorgeous card. Really nice looking card.
Were these hand cut?
No, impacts. But I looked at this one, the same kind of thing again, right? This IPO'd at 10, 5,560 shares, which means it's $55,000 IPO. Last week it closed at 8.6, which is 47,800 market cap, and it was down from 8.6 down over 20% to 710 a share. Market cap below $40,000 on this one, 39,476. Just looking at the chart on this, you see the drop off. I mean, you scroll up again and show that chart. You see it kind of like this. It just kind of falls off a cliff there at the end. So interesting chart. It is a high end Mickey Mantle early year card. I think it's his 7th season or so. It's definitely in the first half of his people who do these verticals, and it's an 8.5. I mean, better than an 8. It's not quite a 9. But you're getting it now at a significant discount to the IPO at 10. It's almost 30% off what it IPO'd at. So those are just two that stuck out at me. Some comps.
Can I ask you 2 questions?
Shoot, man. Of course. That's what we're here for.
First, about Trey. Do you think that because, Trey's flawless in that $13,000.
Yep.
Is that a little bit too... Is that too affordable to want to go to Collectable with? Is that like if I'm buying into Trey, I could just buy my own card and hold a Trey? Versus going to Collectable for?
It's part of it. I mean, it wouldn't explain the 47% drop off. I mean, I can't explain that. Other than to say, that he hasn't had as good of a season as he had the year before. People think maybe a playoff run is not going to be there, not going to be in the cards. I know what you're saying, right? Like at 13,000, I can just go buy myself one. But that's the thing. There aren't that many of those out there. If you type that in eBay or go to a show, you're not going to find too many of those. So if you have a Trey fan who's like, all right, well, this one IPO'd. It IPO'd a lot. This one last week was trading at almost 26,000. Now it's down to 13. I can make a 16, 17 offer on this and take it off the market, maybe. You know what I mean? Like, that's the way I look at this type of a card, right? Because it is still a flaw, and everybody's talking about flawless now, right? It is a flawless rookie patch auto with a nice patch on it. BGS 9, I mean, it's not perfect shape, but, it's only 18 of these. This is what they call, like, rare because it's rare, not rare because it's graded well, So, interesting stuff, right?
Get in. So, Nets, Cavs, Hawks, Hornets. It's still up for grabs how they're going to match up.
Mm-hmm.
I'll tell you, I think the Hawks are second best team out of those 4.
I mean, the Hawks might get in. The Cavs are in, I don't want to call it free fall, but they haven't played well recently. The Hornets are interesting. We'll see, man. We will see. They might get in, and this could be a turnaround candidate. They might not, and I think it could be a turnaround candidate for next year,
Second question is, no other market is a Mickey Mantle market. And what I mean by that is the 51, 52, 50, all the way up until basically his last year, those cards are 4 or 5 figure cards easy, right?
Yep.
What's the right way to compare Mantle? Like a 57, right? Like what's the true price? It's not his rookie. There's so many other cards of his. How do you truly understand? Are you playing the chart here, or do you feel this is undervalued?
This was solely the chart. This was solely right now. I picked this just from the chart, but I do. I mean, you got to look at the comps on this, right? Yeah, there are other sales of the 57 Mantle. You also look at, Golden Auction had a 52 Bowman for sale. They had a PSA 7 52 tops, which sold for more than what Collectable is IPOing theirs at. The IPO $299. The golden one sold for for more than that. So that's interesting, to note. That sold for $336 with buyer's premium. So definitely higher than the $299 that Collectable is IPOing theirs at. Just Mantle's market overall has done well. Talk about some fun stuff here, and I mean we'll throw a bunch of them out. Let me just throw one out that you and I talked about after we wrapped, because this auction ended after we wrapped last week, and it's this segment here. We can call it "Be careful with one comp." Be careful when one sale happens, because who knows what that one sale is? Maybe it's a real nice copy, or maybe the story's there. A card that I was bidding on myself. Hey now. But didn't actually bid because we were recording. I would have liked to have bid on myself. Was the 1994 Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson Miami University Bumblebee perforated PSA 10. One ended last weekend on eBay and sold for $26,099. When you compare that,
interesting card.
I mean, compare that to the 38,250 that slightly down to 38,250 that the one on Collectable is trading at now. Normally, I'd look at that and say, okay, guys, be careful. $26,099 and $38,000. The last comp is 2/3 of what it's trading at. So that's why you saw it go down 5%. It was not with an auction house. It was not something that anybody even knew about. It was just a regular random seller selling the card on eBay. So it didn't get the eyeballs that otherwise would have seen this card. And I think it sold, that comp is a little bit low compared to what things would sell for.
But a really awesome, from an anthropological standpoint, really awesome to see how the landscape's changed, right?
Oh, yeah.
eBay is now the last place people check for really nice cards.
Yeah.
For auction house is where you go. And it's incredible to think how that's changed in just a short period of time. When I got into the hobby, people said eBay is where you sell.
Yep.
Right? It wasn't even a question.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't even a question. Which consignor sold on eBay and you sent your cards to? That was the difference.
A couple other ones, right? One, Alt on April 7th sold a Chrome Refractor Rookie 2007 Topps Kevin Durant for $16,408. The comp on Collectable is $24,500. Now, he has a playoff run, nice little run. This card could go on a little bit of a run. That's one comp. But if you look at it, the comp is, it just sold on April 7th for, again, 2/3 of the price that it's on Collectable on. So something to be careful. Take it even further. And let's talk about this, right? Can you pull up the Babe Ruth 1948 Leaf for me? Because we talked about that, right? We talked about that card 2 weeks ago. And what we talked about was the comp from the PWCC auction, right? And that the PWCC one sold for $102,000. $102,000. So we looked at the one that we have here on SGC, is an SGC 8, right? And it was sitting there at less than half. We made a big post about this card. It was, but now the asset is trading at what? $541 per, market cap of what?
56,000.
56,000.
IPO to 52.
Okay. So here's the fun, right? That is a gorgeous card. This SGC 8 has the PWCC eye appeal on it. The one that sold with PWCC was also a gorgeous card, perfectly centered, beautiful card, 48 leaf, not all centered at all. They're very, condition specific what you get for the prices, which is why what I'm going to tell you now has to be taken with a grain of salt. Not all 8s are the same. Take a look at the one that sold in Golden yesterday. Ken Golden had a 48 leaf Babe Ruth PSA 8 sell. All right. And it was right to left, completely off center. You can take a look at it, significantly more on the right border of the card than the left border of the card. You want to take a guess how much it sold for, the PSA 8? Keep in mind, now this, within the last month, the same PSA 8, same card sold for $102,000 at PWCC. A nicer version of PWCC. So take that into account. What do you think the PSA 8 sold for in Golden auctions last night?
62.
$45,600 with buyer's premium. The condition matters on these cards. It matters a lot. And it's now it's now coming into focus way more that people would pay more for a lower grade with better eye appeal. People will pay significantly less within the grade. And you have to be careful when you're doing these things. You can't just say, okay, a PSA 8 is a PSA 8. The last one was $102,000, so this one's going to be there. The SGC 8 on Collectable happens to be a really nice card. It happens to be a very well-centered card. It's the only one of these three that has the eye appeal moniker from PWCC. That said, be careful because people only read the headlines. We've talked about this all the time. And when people read the headlines, the headline this week is PSA 8 sells for $45,600. So an SGC 8 at $55,000 or $56,000 is now high. So
distrust of grading companies, eye appeal matters. The market's getting smarter. What conclusions do you draw when you see stuff like that?
None. I made all my conclusions already that every card is different, right? And that there's a range within the grades, which is why eye appeal is there. I think with cards like this, especially, the Mantle rookie, all of them, when people are buying vintage now, a 10 is not a 10 is not a 10, right? There are subtle differences between a well-centered 7 with a little soft corners and an off-centered 7 that has great corners. People want the centered one with the worst corners, right?
So Cage, you have PWCC that has like the eye appeal.
Right, Mike Baker.
Mike Baker?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think?
I mean, I don't love the paying for someone to grade the grader, which is the business model. But on vintage, we're seeing there is a difference. There's a big difference between what people will pay within the same grade. So I guess there's
what we've seen too, guys, and not just with modern, but with vintage. Standards change for these grading companies, right?
Yep.
And some of these cards might have been graded 3, 4, 5, 10 years ago. Is that fair to say?
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Definitely. So getting an updated grade might not be the worst. An updated eye appeal, so to speak, with whether that's, you go through PWCC, which is the only one in the game that has that, or go through Mike Baker. I will say, I think what PWCC has on its side is the fact that it sees so many cards. It is able to add its own kind of level of distinction, but it's a really interesting. I love how markets change and adapt. So I want to give people the top 3 gainers, top 3 decliners, if that's okay.
Of course. Yep.
Right.
Go for it.
Top 3 gainers. 75% up is the Chicago Bulls dynasty, 1995 to 1998. Bench game used hardwood floor, up almost 75%. That could, I think that's one or two big buyers kind of moving the market. I don't know, but that's my hunch. Second one is the one I'm most proud of. I've talked about building your Kobe mutual fund. Build your Kobe memorabilia mutual fund. So this week you have the French Blue Jordan 12 retro sneakers, game worn by Kobe, up 60%.
Yep.
I stand by this. Wait for these huge moves and add dollar cost average into your Kobe game used mutual fund. I don't think you could go wrong over a 5 to 10 year period. Jason Dominguez, up 40%. His 2020 Bowman Chrome Orange Refractor. Baseball's back, so is Dominguez hype. I don't understand hype. I do not understand why these baseball prospects sell for these amounts. But the market is the market is the market. So, top 3 decliners? Anything to say about those 3?
No. I mean, it's when I saw that, I was a little bit surprised because, I mean, what is it about Kobe this week or a wood floor this week that would make those be the ones to get into, right? Or nothing really happened with the wood or. So
well, you never know with Kobe and Jordan. Those are iconic. I don't understand. I mean, I don't understand prospecting on these baseball players where, he could only hope to have the career of Bryce Harper or Albert Pujols, but he's selling for astronomical prices.
Yep.
So this is actually kind of cool. They have so I pulled up the Magic Bird Dr. J scoring leaders basket, which is 2 PSA 8s of the 3 of them on the card. Mm-hmm. Two PSA 8s.
We talked about this several weeks ago and said that basket was pretty high because the 9s were coming down in price, the 8s were
Correct.
coming down in price. This is a basket of 2 8s.
And it's similar to like the Jordan Fleer 86 PSA 10. The 10 holds value, and sure, when the 10 goes up, the 9, 8, 7s follow, but then they actually kind of follow in the opposite direction. They have the rubber band effect that you talked about. Remember that?
Yep. Which, by the way,
Cool.
$252 was the golden sale on the Jordan. $252, including buyer's premium. So
It
right
seems
in where
that's,
it's been.
that's the floor.
Yep.
That's right there. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see a move. I really wouldn't be in the next 3, 6, 9 months. So the top 3 decliners. You have Kevin Durant's game-worn high school jersey, Montrose Christian, down almost 60%, 57%. Photo matched. Then you have the Dr. J, Magic, Bird, scoring leaders basket down 2 PSA 8s, down 48%. And Cage's play, which is the Trae Young 2018 flawless RPA, BGS 9, also down 48%.
There you go. All right, guys, some fun comps just so that you have it, right? We got to give you these things when auctions end, and we'll do this again next week to the best we can because the PWCC auction will be ending on April 16th. So we'll have some numbers for you. That premiere will end in about a week, 6 days. One of the guys that Andrew talked about last week, Lionel Messi. I probably said that wrong. Is that Lionel
You said that
Barca?
fantastically.
All right, Mr. Messi and Mr. Neat. It was books I used to read. Collectable has the 04 Panini Sports Mega Cracks number 71 PSA 9, currently trading at, you want to pull that one up if you can. I have it at $64,400. That's the Messi Mega Cracks rookie PSA 9. I believe the market price on that one is $64,000. You can grab that if you can. Why I ask you to pull that one up is because Golden Auctions last night had one end. So what's it? Am I right on the market value?
64,000. IPO'd at 86 actually.
Okay, you want to take a guess at what the PSA 9 same card sold for? And remember, guys, it's just one comp. One comp, it's not
55.
$24,000, including buyer's premium.
Wow.
Yeah, so it's something to look out for, obviously. It's something to be mindful of, guys. As trading opens on this, it's trading at 64,000, and the Ken Golden one from yesterday sold for $24,000.
Cage.
Oh, excuse me, 28.8 with buyer's premium. My apologies.
There are 36 PSA 9s in circulation with 20 examples graded higher.
Mm-hmm.
This isn't the highest pop card. This is the greatest player of all time, his rookie card with, let's say, 100 really nicely graded copies. I'm including PSA 8s in there. Did the buyer just get a steal?
Hold on. Let's take a look. So I think let me just make sure, because I think some of the stuff is ending tonight. So I want to make sure that's actually over before we give that as a comp. No, it's still going. Okay, so there we go. Woo! Take that back. Wow. Woo! That would have been really low.
But that happens, Cage. Sometimes that happens.
So Ken's auctions go for 3 days. I had no idea. I know some went tonight, but there you go. So the soccer portion ends on Monday night. So guys, be aware. It's currently at 28.8 with buyer's premium. Let's hope that thing goes up. My apologies to you guys on that one. I thought that was a completed auction. When I pulled up Ken's completed stuff, this is on there at 28.8. So we still got almost 2 days on that one. Let's hope it sells for 80.
If I could talk a little bit about Messi, I'm going to double down. I mean,
Ken's
Ken
auctions
has
very hard. It's very hard to find the completed stuff on his.
He might do that intentionally, if I could be honest. I don't know if that's true or not. Maybe some of you guys in the comments that follow Ken's auctions for a longer time could share why the completed items are a little bit more difficult to find. But I'll tell you, man, Messi in a high grade to me seems like a great opportunity in the next 3 to 6 months.
Well, did you see what the one we talked about, the gold 2 out of 10? The one that we mentioned when we said Ronaldo was a bargain, comparatively with the 1-1 auto. Do you see where that ended at? That ended. So, see, it's over. That one ended. But why is soccer? Come on now. So that one ended. It ended at $522,000 with buyer's premium. $522.
People love Gold Prism.
Yep.
It's insane how much people love Gold Prism.
I mean, not a direct comp, but $232,000 is the current trading price for a 1-of-1 auto, same set for Ronaldo. Interesting. It's like 40% of the price. Yeah.
I'm picturing your Christmas tree, and yours is, Joe Montana, Jerry Rice, bland, but those are the true rookies. And then you see people have these kabooms and gold prism and stuff like that. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, if I could get a PSA 10 for 200,000, a PSA 9 for, let's say, 30 to 45,000, or a gold prism for 500,000, I don't know. I don't understand the infatuation of gold prism over a true rookie.
People like gold. People like them some gold. Let's see some other comps, right? The Ken Golden also had a BGS 9 of the rookie ticket contenders auto of Tom Brady, sold for 91.2, which is right in line with the basket of 190. They're about 95,000 each, so that's a fair comp. Shows that the one on Collectable with the basket of two of them is trading right where it should be. Interesting stuff. That is what I will say on those.
I'll ask you one question, and we can wrap if you want.
Sure.
Carmelo, where does he go down? Does he become cardboard irrelevant after he?
I don't know. Is he going to retire? Is this it for him? Remember,
I think in a lot of people's minds, he has retired. I think in a lot of people's minds, he has.
Remember, he's only 1 year older than LeBron. He only played 1 year in Syracuse. They came out the same year. So he's only a year older than LeBron.
He might be the worst defender in the league,
except for Trey.
Yeah, they go to the same coach.
Listen, I'm a fan only because I like being able to watch people from my generation of basketball, basically moving up the ranks in all-time numbers, and he is top 10 scorer of all time. That doesn't mean top 10 scorer. You and I had a nice episode of what that means. It means, for what I'm saying, there are only 9 people in the history of the NBA that ever scored more points than him. Doesn't mean he's the 10th best to get to the basket.
Right.
It means he
he's
right
played
now
a long time. And he's been the number one option for a long time.
And he played at a high level. I like him. And by the way, the LeBrons that are, trading on Collectable, this past week, the duel of him and Carmelo was one of the few that were up. So you take a look at that.
I would use this opportunity. So whack boxes of like really sought releases is a play for me. Giannis, I've given you guys that and all that stuff, but I would short the Melo market. I got to be honest. I think he's irrelevant. I think there might be a time where no team even picks him up. He really hasn't gone out on top. And I think this chasing a ring. Remember, the Lakers were plus 200 or plus 300 to win the championship before the season started. People already crowned the Nets and the Lakers like the finals matchup. Is he even on the Lakers next year, right? Is he even in the league next year? So how I would play Carmelo, he's a legend. I would let the dust settle, him retire, and then get back into it as like a Dr. J type of vibe with the trio card with Wade, Melo, and LeBron. That's my prerogative, though.
All right. I think the two items that have have Carmelo on it.
LaMelo is better than Carmelo.
I think the LeBron duel, the crystal one, they're up.
But that's a good thing. That might be a time to sell into strength.
They're actually up this week. All right, listen, I get it. I 100% do, and I can't really argue with you. The players that have not been the GOATs of that generation, right? The Dwayne Wades, the Ray Allens, the people who did well but were never like the top. Their cards don't appreciate the same way that the GOATs do. So,
both of those guys are significantly more respected in collecting circles than Carmelo.
I mean, it depends who you ask. I think Kevin Garnett respects Carmelo better than he respects Ray Allen, but it depends who you ask.
I don't know if that's true.
Oh, come on. Did you see the NBA 75th? You see when they announced Ray Allen and he came over and he shook LeBron's hand and Kevin Garnett was like this? He was like looking up in the sky.
No, dude, there was something more recent where they squashed it, but dude, I don't know. I mean, who knows? I don't know. Kevin Garnett has a hoodie that's stuck to his head. Luca Nation, that's another episode of the Fractional Report before opening bell. Sponsored by Collectable. We love our partners. We love you guys. We love what you're doing. I think they've done a tremendous job, upgrading their platform, giving you guys the tools to make really good buying decisions. So,
and
I
my
hope you guys are
apologies
profiting.
on the messy one. That's not a sold auction yet. So there you go. It's blame the golden site. That's really hard to navigate. But yes, that one's still going. So keep an eye on that, guys. If you're listening to this, Sunday night, Monday, that will be ending Monday evening. Comp of 64. It's currently at 28 and change. So I'm sure it'll get some more
Tech
bids.
matters. Tech matters. Heading into 2020, like 2023, tech matters, man. I hope these companies, not just our partners, I hope they all understand how important investing in technology, user experience, will impact customer acquisition and everything all the way down the line. It's super important to be able to navigate and see comps and sold listings and all that stuff. So love you guys. Peace.